Hey, I'm James McDougall.
I'm Lexi Grabowski.
I'm Briar Knowles.
My name is Jessica Malka.
I'm Christy Murdoch.
It's Alaska Lee.
I am Natasha Prasad.
I'm Megan Hemingway.
I'm Leanne Johnson.
My name is Snezhana Baikova.
I'm Kate Schroeder.
My name is Natasha Hurlbert.
My name is Rachel.
My name is Deborah Lee Smith.
I'm Rebecca Amzalag.
And I'm an actress and producer.
I'm an actress based in New York City.
Writer, actress.
I'm an actor.
Actor and filmmaker.
I'm an actress based in Los Angeles.
And I'm an actor, singer-songwriter.
I'm an actress.
I'm a model actress based out of Calgary, Alberta.
I'm an actor and a musician.
I am an actress based in Toronto, and I want to thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching. And thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for tuning in to the Chat with Dan show.
I want to start a conversation by throwing out this question, which is, like, what would you like to have told to yourself before becoming an actor?
I think I would have said, aside from learning your craft and getting really great at what you want to do, get your mind right. Mindset is the most important thing to be able to withstand this biz.
True. Definitely
Yeah.
true.
That was the best advice I ever got, was clean out your, is it your front porch? Is that the saying? Clean your front porch off first.
Oh, yeah,
Bring
yeah.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would have said, this is the long game. You're playing the long game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I would have said something similar. Like, have patience, because it's going to take a lot of it. And also, like, remember it's not personal.
Yeah.
Or try as hard as you can to remember it's not personal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's always like one audition, or at least I had one where it just solidified that fact that it's not personal. I was auditioning for The Lord of the Rings, the musical. And I was hoping to go out for, one of the beautiful tall elves. I'm 5'3". So it was like, you could be a hobbit, except you have to be a soprano, because that's the key that they sing in. And I was not. And that was that little thing solidified it for me, where it was like, right, it's not personal. I did a great job in my audition to the best of my ability, but just didn't fit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I also would have said to find other things that I enjoy, because I used to be obsessed. Like, every audition meant so much. And then as I've grown older, I've realized that there's just more other things in life to be excited about and happy about. And I think that makes acting so much better, when you can really take your focus on other things and enjoy other things. And it doesn't mean that acting is less important. It's just you're not as desperate.
Absolutely.
I'm not.
And don't forget to have fun.
Yeah.
Fun. Yeah. A lot of the time when we're trying to, I know I forget when I'm trying to make a career out of it and make it my business and, do it full time, that how fun it can be when I'm just like in classes, being able to let go it's what I love. And I think I would try and remind myself that it is fun and you do love doing it. So
yeah, because if you're not having fun, your audience is definitely not going to be having fun watching you.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think I will tell myself also, you're not gonna like yourself in camera, and that's completely okay.
Yeah.
100%.
Now, what has surprised you the most about the profession of being an actor?
That's actually a really hard one.
Yeah.
Like, because you get all the stereotypes when you go into this, right? Like, it's going to be hard. You're not going to make it right away. Or like, there's a million of you, and that's all things that you're expecting. But I guess, like, I think it's the film community that I didn't expect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, people say that getting into this business is super competitive, and that's not wrong. But if you find like a really good support group and like a really good film community, it makes this so worth it. You're not alone, and there's people that you can work with and have a great time with and help each other up, and everyone's so supportive. Like, I think that is not talked about enough.
Yeah, agreed. I think I think 100%. It's so true. And I think it's a lot smaller than I expected it to be, just how connected everyone really is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyone else?
I think I would have, like, I feel like when I started, I was all about the craft and the art and being an artist. And I think after a while, I realized like people who weren't even acting were booking, or like who just started, and I was so confused. I was like, but like they're not like they don't know how to act, or like thinking, in my brain what I was thinking. But it is a business as well. And I think once I kind of started to shift to more of a business mindset, it's like, not so attached to the craft and the art, and like, okay, like what's my type? What are my headshots, or what's filming, and kind of focusing more on the business side of it.
And like, how does
I think something that surprises me, I think, in the last 5-7 years is how much content is also in the hands of actors now more than ever, and how easy it is for us to be able to create and put ourselves out there in ways that people 15, 20, 30 years ago couldn't. And I think that brings a lot of more competition because there's a lot more actors, but also how easy it is. Like, we're storytellers at the end of the day. So you can get with your friends and, like you said, Nikki, with your community, and tell a story and make it happen. Like, our access to the technology surprises me every day.
Yeah, and even with like cameras now on your phone, like, they're insane. You can get really high quality things just from the thing you hold every day.
Yeah.
Sorry, Diane, I cut you off.
No, it's okay. I was just saying that, yeah, the industry has changed in the last years. Like, everything is online now, and there's so many ways to create material because there's so many, streaming platforms, YouTube, so many places where you can create your own content. So yeah, there's way more opportunities right now. I mean, it's a wonderful time to be an actor, but also there's a lot of competition, that is for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, I love it. Now, do you feel as actors that you are not doing something meaningful enough, or like there is a purpose to it?
100%. It's purposeful. Yeah, I think. Like, there's not enough to express it. Yeah, it means so much. It means so much to me, and it means so much to audiences. And I think it can be belittled a lot, like how important it is. But I think over the last few years, a lot of people realize that it's a necessity, not a nicety. We need art. We do. And for me personally, it's always been about, one, connecting with other people, with your fellow actors, with myself, and then how that can affect and help audiences watching, how they can relate to what they're seeing, how it can help them, see something differently or think about something differently and make them feel less alone. Just, it really does make a difference.
And also as a service to the writer, who put their heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears into whatever story you're telling as an actor, what level of service you're bringing to those words. You're also, a vehicle for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and like, stories are always the things that have been carried through, like carrying cultures, carrying words, carrying life through it. Like, we've heard stories from the beginnings of time, and we're not necessarily the ones who are, we are now, as we've just spoke about, the ones who are telling the stories, but we as actors are the vessels of the stories that get them through to audiences. So I think there's always going to be a call for it, and it's always going to be meaningful work in that way. And I think there's always, people are going to find truth in the stories that they watch us perform in.
Yeah.
We're there to bring those emotions. It's like music, right? Music and movies. To me, are the arts that always bring the more emotions in people. And I think it's something really meaningful. It's a passion work, right? It's not like, I just had to be an office worker or a waitress just to make, ends meet. No, this is something that we do because we love it. So it's full of meaning. That's what I wanted to say.
And I think as an actor, you get a really cool opportunity to tell stories that might not be heard every day. And that also makes it meaningful too. Like, there's lots of parts, like every movie or every film has a story to it, and a lot of it has a moral. or it's reflective of what's going on in society or something that we want to bring attention to. And that gives us the opportunity to actually give back to the community by bringing these issues to light and being able to portray it in a way that many people would understand.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Is there any kind of character that you would refuse to play because perhaps the type of message is not something that you believe?
I think that all stories need to be told. And sometimes you might find yourself playing something you're completely against. And at the end, that's the job of an actor, right? To try to adapt to all those things. I think as long as there's a purpose to it, right? Because I mean, this is everyone's choice. But I think that if there's a purpose to the character, it really doesn't matter if it fits with what you believe or not. You're just telling a story. If there's no purpose, sometimes they do release things that might be not appropriate, and that's your choice to say no. I don't think this is worth it.
And I think the only
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think the only time I would ever turn down a character, I don't think I'd ever, like, kind of building off of what Diane said, like every story needs to be told, and if that character is important to the story, there's a meaning, like there's a purpose to them. But I think the only time I would ever turn one down is if, say, for example, this character went through something super traumatic that I went through recently as well, and I haven't fully healed it from it. Like, there is the mental health side of things, and I think that's the only time, like me personally, in my experience, I would turn down a character that maybe I didn't agree with.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know necessarily about turning down a character, but I think turning down a project because the message of the project I don't agree with, the message of the film, whatever they stand for is completely against my morals and what I believe in. I've definitely done that before, where I read a script, and even if the character is cool or not, or is interesting, but the whole overall end of the story, I can't stand behind and like sleep well at night and look at myself in the mirror, then I'm out.
Yeah. I agree.
Great point.
I think I think you have to have kind of like an emotional like reaction, that something lights up inside of you, no matter what the message is or what it is, that you feel like you have to tell the story or play this character, and that's what kind of drives you forward. And if you don't really have that, then I find like it's really difficult for me to do a good performance if I don't have that passion that's lit up when I with a character or audition.
Okay. Now, moving on here, what has been before asking that, do you take home your characters, and has that ever affected you in a negative way?
I don't think I ever taken a character home. I think I take the emotions home sometimes. It's kind of like sometimes it's difficult to separate yourself from that emotion quickly. It's something that we'll need to train on, but it is a little bit difficult, and sometimes you end uncomfortable, and that kind of like, stays with you the whole day. You need to learn how to get rid of it. But I don't think I got to the point yet to get into like method acting to the point that, I'm completely in character 24/7.
And there's lots of people that have done that. Like, I know in my acting class, one of the people did Dahmer, and his parents were like, he was Dahmer for 2 straight weeks and we could not handle it. So I don't know how you could like stay in that mindset for so long. I think there comes a point where you do just have to leave the character with the project, and you do have to be able to step away and become yourself again. Because I think when you get into method acting, kind of back to what we were saying earlier, that you don't move with the character, right? Like the character, what you're filming that day could be the end of the movie, and then you're filming the beginning tomorrow. So I think very much you need to be ready for what that character is going through at that moment. And if you constantly stay in that character, I really do think it can damage your performance a little bit.
Yeah. And I think that just comes with time, learning how to let go of those emotions and that character. I've never been a method actor myself, but but I have seen it affect others. And I do think, again, I agree with you, Nikki, and it can do some real damage, I think, to your mental health. And so I relate to you, Diane, when you say you took the emotions, not necessarily the character. Mm-hmm. And it does just take time for you to recognize that and learn your own ways of releasing them, because everyone's going to have a different process for them as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, what has been your toughest moment so far as an actor?
Lots of tough moments. I think for me, the toughest moment has been just the earlier days when I was just too attached to acting as my identity and my self-worth. And then it was like, if I got an audition, I felt happy. If I didn't, I was sad. And that's not a good way to live your life. So I think those were tough moments, because if I wasn't auditioning, or if it was dead, I would just like be really upset. And so I think those were the tough moments when you're just, I think it's the beginning of the industry, it's learning how to navigate this industry. And just now that I have a better understanding, I'm like, okay, it's fine. Like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I think the attachment of your entire self-worth is a huge deal. I 100% remember Yvette just feeling like, why am I not getting auditions, or why am I not booking, and like making it so personal a few years ago. Whereas yesterday I was released from a big pin, right? Being pinned for a big show. And I still, I went to acting class. I still was on set for a different project, and it was still an amazing acting day. And that release that I would have probably taken as a huge rejection years ago, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm still acting. I'm still an actor. It doesn't take away. It doesn't make me a better actor or a worse actor. It just didn't work out this time. We can move on. So that detachment or the attachment makes it really rough.
Yeah. And I think even just to build off of that, like, I think for me, the hardest part was separating myself from everybody else's journey. Because, like, as much as it sucks to say, you could be doing this for 10 years and go into an audition room, and the person that just decided an hour ago that they wanted to be an actor will book the part. It happens. And you have to kind of separate yourself from that. Like, this is your journey. You can't go to acting class and hear how everyone's booking things and you haven't booked anything yet. Like, your time will come. But separating yourself from other people's experiences and comparing your success to theirs, I think was the hardest for me.
I definitely agree with that. I know for myself, it was definitely when I was first starting out, the kind of like self-doubt aspect. It's like, am I actually right to be doing this? Should I maybe pick something else that's going to be more of a faster, like, a way to success? Like, it was just a very emotional time for me. And I think now that I've been in this industry for a lot longer, it's gotten a lot easier, and you don't take rejection as hard anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Another tough part, I don't come from a family of actors or performers, and another tough part also years ago was explaining the industry, not necessarily explaining what you're working on, like, what did you book, did you not book, like, why do you have 7 side jobs, not that. Explaining the whole machine, like the machine of, like, you audition and 25 people have to say yes before you get a job, or like, what's it like, I'm self-taping and when do you hear back, and just explaining the logistics. It was rough, like, because it makes you feel like you're speaking a whole other language, which we are. To us, it's every day, but trying to get, your cousin to understand what you're doing because they genuinely are interested, but they're just like, I have no idea what you're telling me.
I think my favorite question was, oh, what time are you done work?
When are you done?
I still get like, so do you have any auditions coming up? I'm like, hey, I get auditions like the night before. Like, I don't know how many times I have to explain that to people. Like, it's not like in the future or last minute.
Yeah, there is such a disconnect from like people who have worked in the industry and trying to like fit in with, like, do I say normal people, normal society? Like, trying to fit in with like a normal 9 to 5 people and trying to explain to them all of of those things that Stephanie kind of touched into is just that is hard. It is hard to have like a balanced life in this industry.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's pretty fun. I like that. Now, if you couldn't act, what would you pursue?
Writing. I mean, I also write now, but yeah, writing.
Absolutely nothing. I took a break from the industry a couple of years ago, like right before the pandemic. I had intended to take like 2 months off, and then the pandemic hit, and I was like, well, I guess I'm taking longer off. And I came back to it inevitably, and there's like literally nothing else that's ever stuck for me. This is the only thing that's ever stuck. So I honestly I can't even fathom or think of another career path or choice that I could be doing outside of this.
I used to say astronaut, but I'm gonna stick with acting and writing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I wasn't, if I wasn't an actor, I would just probably just do something that could make a lot of money or something. You know, just something, one of those jobs where you're like,
yeah.
Well, you're like, well, I'm not going to enjoy anything, so I might as well just do like something that makes me money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would stick to something artistic for sure. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry.
I just said that I would probably stick to something artistic for sure. Music.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried a few things already: photography, music, something like that. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would I'm always that person that needs to do a million different things, so I do things outside of acting because I can't focus on one thing. So probably something in psychology. I'd probably put a little bit more effort into that side of things.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty cool. I like it. Astronaut was like the unexpected answer ever, by the way.
Because my mind is always out there, you know. It's very
Yeah. I used to want to become an astronaut back when I was a kid, but then I have an uncle who is way too deep into the whole NASA stuff, space, things like that. And when he showed me kind of all of the training and things you have to do, I was like, yeah, no.
Not for me.
That's for me. Like,
yeah. The other thing I would do though is that I would be a real life Tinkerbell and I would go around the world just being Tinkerbell as a job. I would totally do that.
Cool. Okay.
Another very valid choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
There you go. What about you, Eccaia? What would you do?
Honestly, outside of acting, I think I would maybe pursue criminology, like the study of the human mind and everything. I think it would be so cool to just also kind of see like the reason for certain people's emotions, because I think that's also a big part of acting is like as an audience member, you get so invested in certain characters and certain things that I would really like to see why people experience these emotions and kind of what goes through their head as they're watching film and everything.
That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah. Now, is there a film that you saw recently that has changed your way of thinking about something specific?
Oh my God. Well, this isn't recent, but I saw Soul, the Pixar movie.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That changed my life. Like, that movie was amazing. Just how he, you know, he's striving so hard to be successful and be this musician, but really like there's beauty in just taking a walk down the street. And those are the beautiful things in life. And that movie really changed my perspective on just being able to walk outside and be on this planet. Like, we're so lucky and we can't miss those moments. Even if they just seem mundane, like they're really special moments.
Absolutely.
I saw, I think what really changed my perspective in filmmaking recently was Everything Everywhere All at Once. Just in terms of filmmaking as an art on its own, the first 30 minutes, I was like, what trip am I on? What am I watching? And then I was, all in, just amazed at what they created in this art form. And then I just saw my friend's short film called Tito. I'm going to give him a shout out. But he did amazing. He did an amazing longer short film that I was not expecting in terms of quality, storytelling, depth. And it really just opened my eyes. I've been thinking about that movie for days now.
I mean, I don't know if it changed my mind, but it definitely left me thinking. I just watched The Whale, and it's absolutely fantastic. Brendan Fraser is just great as an actor. So it definitely left me thinking a little bit of, about the message of the movie, and also like I really thought, and this is every time I watch a movie, is kind of my thought. Like I want to, I don't know, portray those emotions the same way. They are just like really great actors that you can learn from. But it's a movie I absolutely recommend to everyone to watch. It's a little bit difficult, but
yeah, I want to see that so bad. Yeah,
I burst into tears at the trailer, so like I have to mentally prepare myself for this movie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, my next question here is, if you could change one thing right now about the whole film industry, what would it be and why?
More representation. We still need more representation everywhere.
Yes.
Women, all ethnicities. In general, I know we're little by little getting there, but there's still a lot to do. So
absolutely, yeah.
I think we need more opportunities for new people. Like I know here, a lot of the things is like once you're in, right? But breaking that first circle is really like that's the hardest task, right? So I think having more opportunities for newer actors or projects that are specific for newer actors, just to give them that little stepping stone, I would love to see more of that.
I agree. One of our actresses, Amanda Brugel, just did a talk about this here, about how, a message to the gatekeepers being like, you have to stop just hiring your friends and friends of friends, because you're going to run out of actors and you won't be able to fill the demand that the industry has right now, because it's growing so rapidly. And I agree with that 100%. We need to see newer people, newer faces. It if nothing else, it keeps it interesting.
Yeah, I think on that vein, more transparency in terms of sometimes processes are just kept so removed. And I know all of the forces that run the industry are private companies and they all have to make money. I'm very aware of that. But a little more transparency in terms of, I was just talking to a friend about this, when you send an audition tape, you send it to an ether vacuum and just, is there an accountability factor on both ends? Or, are we really that pressed for time that we can't communicate a little bit more so that we all can get better, right? Not just for personal benefit, but everybody's trying to become a better actor. Everybody's trying to become a better director, cinematographer, etc. So, when you don't get a job outside of this industry, you do get a rejection letter, sometimes specific, right? As to why they went a different direction. So I think more communication would just improve and level us all up. There's no reason to not communicate. There's no reason.
Yeah, it would be nice to get like a checklist of like, this is everything that we would like to see you improve on by the next time we bring you into the room. Like, it would be nice, just so that we can keep that in mind the next time we go in, because sometimes an actor will make the same mistake over and over and over and over again. And if we don't know that, how do we fix it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I just watched a video, actually, a casting director was explaining why sometimes they don't give feedback. And it's because she was explaining with what we were talking about before. There's so many people submitting right now. This is not like when you go in person and they are just seeing 15 people in person, right? Now they are receiving like hundreds and thousands sometimes of auditions. So they don't have the time to give feedback to everyone. But I believe that that's a little bit also the job of your manager or your agent to kind of like get back to you and say, I talked to this person and they would like to see you more doing this or this.
Yeah.
So I think that's more, their job than casting directors, because they might be overwhelmed right now.
Yeah, and I think that what I was saying goes for every discipline in the industry, not just for actors, right? If a director doesn't get a job, or if they pass on a production manager, how can that production manager or UPM do their job better so they do get the next one?
Yeah.
Also, going on back to what Stephanie was saying a little bit as well, there's a lot of barriers for new actors that is associated with cost of being an actor and being in the film industry, especially if you're an actor who moves into making their own films, because we're not being put in everything. So we're like making our own films, but in order to get funding to make your own films, you have to have spent a lot of money to already have made a film to get that credibility. There's a lot of gatekeeping, there's a lot of red tape that we have to work through. And just going in it as just an actor, you have to spend a lot of money before you can even be taken seriously as a professional actor. You know, you have to be in classes, you have to have some sort of training, you have to have your headshots, you have to be continually doing this. Like, it's a lot of extra money. And I think it would be nice if there was a way that we could find a way of bringing that cost down a little bit for new actors to even get their foot in the door to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
My last question here is, if you could describe this episode on a film, how do we call it?
Film titles are like log lines. They're like my biggest weakness.
I know.
So describe this episode as a film?
But it needs a title. So how can we call it?
It's difficult.
It is really difficult.
Naming things, people, movies, all of that has always been my biggest struggle. So.
I think all of my movie drafts are like movie draft 1, movie draft 2.
I think like like something a little like young adult, like Resilient Sisters or something cute. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking something. I was like,
I like that. Yeah.
Okay, because that's gonna be the title of this video.
Oh God. Okay, somebody come up with something.
Nope, that's it. We're sticking with
I
it.
like that. It kind of, what's that? What
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
That's
what I was thinking about. Yeah.
I was thinking of that Call the Midwives, but that's midwives, not sisters. So never mind.
So should we leave it? So we got two options. We got what was it, Stephanie? Resilient Sisters? What's the number?
Yeah, Resilient Sisters.
So we got Resilient Sisters, and the other one you mentioned, Randi. What was it?
Oh no, that's an actual movie.
Yeah. But I can, but like I can put like something else on it, so then it would be like not the actual one, something like that.
I mean, you could just tag on onto Sisters and be Resilient Sisterhood.
There you go. Resilient Sisterhood is gonna be the title then.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, at the end, what can I say, guys? I mean, I love what you do. It's incredible, and also the fact that you keep doing it, and you keep showing us, the audience, that dreams are possible, regardless of where you're from, or language, culture. You're making it possible. You have achieved things here and there, and that's impressive. That's super badass. I mean, that's why I say that you're basically kind of my heroes and legends, because it's not easy. I mean, it's not easy, and I could assume that sometimes you were thinking about a quit, but you're still doing it, and that's impressive. That's super badass. So I want to thank you so much for the time, and for the time to make this happen, because I know how busy and crazy the schedule of an actor can be here and there. So
thank you
for putting this on and organizing it.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Really nice to meet all you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited to follow everyone's career.
Yeah, me too. I was like, gonna email down. I was like, can you like send me the names so I can follow them?
Absolutely, count on that.
Yeah.
Count on that. And I also want to thank those who watched this episode. Thank you so much. I hope you thank you for staying here on this video. Now this episode is about to be over, so in the description below, you're gonna find a bunch of social media here. So make sure to follow each one of them. I mean, let's the drill here. Let's make them all viral. Hashtag Team JS, hashtag Team Nikki, hashtag Team Yvette, hashtag Team Stephanie, hashtag Team Randi, Hashtag Team Diane and hashtag Team Eccaia, because they're all incredible, amazing people here. And again, thank you so much, guys. Keep inspiring, keep creating, keep being this amazing, incredible, badass people you are always. Yeah, you always are. And I'll be definitely seeing the next one.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
All right.
Bye.